How's it, guys? I'm Oliver from Addict Shooting and Tactical, and welcome to another episode. Today we are going to be breaking down different vanes, different fletches, feathers, and everything we put on the back of our arrows. Alright guys, and the first one that we're going to be discussing today is going to be the shorter, smaller target vanes. Here guys is an example of two different type of target vanes or fletches. These are smaller vanes, some of them are shaped differently. You'll see the rear one over here is shaped differently. It's got a slight shield cut at the back, it's slightly higher than the other one. These kind of vanes are going to be low in drag, great for your field points or target points. For crosswinds, you're not going to get a lot of resistance on them, so your tail's not going to kick out as much. So the target vanes are generally a lot smaller and lower in profile for longer outdoor shooting. We're going to move on to the next one, which is going to be more our indoor and 3D type of vanes. For example, this is what you'd use on an indoor kind of circuit. This is a longer vane, slightly different shaped for less wind resistance, crosswind, so on. You can also use it outdoor. The feathers are mainly used for indoor, also can transition into hunting for the guys who want a vane that's going to stabilize very quickly. The feathers are a little bit unpredictable in different weather. That's why the plastic's a little more popular, but the longer vanes are definitely a vane that's going to stabilize a bit better for indoor shooting, have a lot more resistance in wind or crosswind for outdoors. That's why they're very popular for indoor. Right, next guys, we're going to be discussing all the different vanes we use for hunting. This you can see is quite a long vane with quite a twist on it, or what we call is a helical, which means the vane is kind of corkscrewed around the shaft to give it a twist or a spin when it comes out the bow. A long vane like this is a 5-inch vane, so these are quite long. These are going to have a lot more drag or a lot more resistance to the vane, creating a more stable vane as it flies through the air. So the longer vanes, bigger vanes like this, would also typically be used for bigger broadheads. So in your hunting field, if you're going to shoot a big fixed bladed broadhead with 4 or 3 big blades, or a big 2-blade broadhead for big game, then we're going to shoot a large fletch on the back of the arrow to stabilize those heads. We also can use a slightly shorter vane, like these 4-inch vanes, but on this arrow we fletch them with 4 fletches. So the additional fletch again is just going to create a little more stability and help guide that arrow more direct to your target. You also get in the hunting field smaller vanes. These are typically used more for mechanicals. So this is a short 2-inch vane with a high profile. So it's a very high profile. It's got quite a sharp little notch on the side here. They are a little bit noisier because of that notch and because they're higher profile. So you will definitely hear a bit more of a fizz through the air with this type of vane compared to your 3-inch fletch, which is something like this. This fletch is going to have a more rounded back end, which will be a bit quieter. It's also a slightly softer plastic. On some vanes they're softer or harder, but the 3 inches, the more popular vane across the board for standard smaller fixed blades and definitely mechanicals. You get different styles in these 3-inch. For example, there's a parabolic one. This is going to be a shield cut, so it's got a notch cut out the back. So this is a 3-inch shield cut vane. All these vanes are typically used for hunting and great for broadheads, both in mechanical and fixed blade. Then last on the list, right guys, and the last thing we have on the list today are the vanes we use for small game. What we have here is what we call our small game type of head, or not head, sorry, fletching. This fletching is going to be done in feathers. This is called French twist feather. So what we do is we take the feather and we glue it on around the shaft in a corkscrew manner. The reason why it's so puffy and so big is to create a lot more drag. So when you're shooting like doves out the air or rabbits or smaller game, this arrow is going to create a lot of resistance and break very quickly or stop very quickly as it comes out the bow. So it's going to shoot a very short distance, stopping, falling out the sky or to the ground, and making it much easier to recover your arrow and find it with a big fluffy end on the back. Just keep in mind that kind of arrow rest you're going to need for this is not going to be a whisker biscuit or something that's going to snag on it. So this needs to be a drop away rest or a prong rest or something that's not going to snag on these feathers. Right guys, thanks for joining us again on another one of our educational videos. I hope this was very informative. If there's anything else that you'd like us to see or touch base on, leave a comment below. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Till next time, hope you guys enjoy it. Go check our other content out. Have a good one. Cheers.